If you think that cutting calories is the key to losing weight, I want to warn you. It can seriously backfire, especially after 60. Because while it might seem like the right move, it can quietly set off a chain of problems that most people never see coming. Stick with me, and I'll show you what's really happening behind the scenes and what you can do instead. Hey there, I'm Dr. Anna. I'm a medical doctor, and I help people rebuild their health, energy, and independence by working with their body, not against it. So today, I want to talk to you about something that's often really misunderstood and why the wrong approach to weight loss can actually make things so much worse instead of better. You see, when most people decide they need to lose weight, what happens? Well, they start with what they've been told. Just eat less and move more. Have you heard this before? I'm sure you have. And at first, this kind of makes sense. The scale might even start to move if you follow this approach. And you'll think, great, it's working for me. But what typically happens is as soon as that initial enthusiasm starts to run out, well, a lot of people sort of turn a corner, and unfortunately not for the better. Well, here's what typically happens. When you start increasing your activity level at the same time that you're dramatically cutting calories, well, if you aren't careful, what happens? You start to lose energy. This is because your body is just not getting the fuel it needs to keep up with your new active lifestyle. And you're trying to live vibrantly and you're trying to meet these higher standards you're setting for yourself. But unfortunately, your body might struggle to keep up with that higher energy demand. Now, what I often see is that people start to cut back on their calories first, and then they start at the same time trying a brand new fitness routine. And that is what leads to burnout really quickly. So what would be the result of this? Well, often people can't just continue doing high level of exercise if they're not getting enough fuel. Ultimately, they might be left so energy depleted that they're moving even less than before. Why? Because they end up quitting on that fitness routine. What's worse is that if this keeps going and you're not engaging your body, you might start to lose strength. And what happens is when you start to lose strength, because without having enough calories, especially protein, the muscle tissue in the body will start to starve and it will struggle. Muscles need enough calories and enough energy to maintain themselves. And without engaging our muscles, well, they're already going to start depleting. So what I see all the time in clinical practice is this really tricky conundrum. People are in this situation where they've tried to cut the calories, they've started the exercise routine, they kind of start burning out and they stop exercising. And then they feel tired, sluggish, and they stop taking their daily movement activities into play. So maybe they're going for daily walks in the past and they're cutting back on that because they just don't have the stamina. They might stop the formal exercise like we talked about before. And ultimately, they might become less active overall without meaning to. They simply just don't have enough energy to keep up. And because they start moving less, well, their body will start losing that muscle mass even faster. And then what happens? We've all experienced this. If we are not keeping our body active, eventually it's going to start developing aches and pains, and that will set people back even further to prevent them from engaging in exercise. So remember this. After 60, we already naturally lose muscle every single year unless we are actively working to maintain it. And that does require effort. So if you're not really fueling yourself properly, which means eating the right nutrition and the right amount of calories, and you're not really moving as well, well, you might accidentally be accelerating this muscle loss process, which is a very tricky situation for older folks. And so, after somebody sustains this dramatic calorie cut and they feel depleted, guess what starts to happen next? Well, eventually, if their energy is so low for so long, the body is going to register that and say, we need more energy, and hunger starts to kick in. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real biological hunger, your body literally telling you to eat more. It's not just random cravings. It's that deep hunger that your body is really saying to you, I'm starving. I'm going to start breaking down my own tissue if you don't give me something to eat. And that is what will lead to this vicious cycle. So you end up having less energy, So then you move less, you start losing muscle tone, your metabolism will start to slow down, your body will register that low energy and tell you that you're hungrier. So your whole body starts growing hunger, and your hunger gets really loud, and you're ultimately going to start feeling worse and worse if this keeps going on. And what's going to happen if you've been following me through this vicious cycle? The next thing is pretty obvious. You, if you're dealing with all this hunger, will start to eat more. And what's going to happen when we eat more? We regain any weight we lost. So in other words, you might get yourself stuck. And so many folks find themselves in this very tricky conundrum. And the problem is, the longer you stay stuck, the harder it's going to be to turn things around again. And this is why I hear so many people say to me over and over again, Dr. Anna, I feel like no matter what I do, I just can't lose weight anymore. I'm telling you, it's not your fault. This vicious biological trap that so many people find themselves in is probably something no one warned you about. Now, I'm going to share this story with some change of name and a little bit of the detail to keep the anonymity. But I had a patient recently, let's just call her Connie. Now, she came to me after she'd been trying to lose weight for several years, decades, I think, and she was doing the classic stuff everyone does. She was cutting calories on her own, and she was telling me the story that she lost about 15 pounds, but within the first 6 months of doing this, she recognized that she kind of regained all the weight. The other thing was she developed some back aches and pains, and they started to cause her to cut back on her typical exercise routine. She was no longer going to the fitness class she would normally engage in. And because she was having so much back pain, I could start to see when she came to my office that she didn't have that much muscle tone. And I don't know how much of that was related to natural aging or it was just because of this whole situation she found herself in, but she clearly had a low amount of muscle mass. And she was telling me she felt really weak. She started to feel worried that she was going to have a fall. So she noticed a little bit less balance. And when we checked all her lab work, she was dealing with prediabetes. So what was the worst part of all of this? Well, there obviously were a lot of things we had to address, but the worst part is that she thought all of this was her fault, and it wasn't. This happens to so many people. I told her, and what I'll tell you today is it's the fault of the strategy she was taught. You see, over time, these patterns will create very serious risks for our health. If you have a low amount of physical body movement and you couple that with low muscle mass, low body muscle mass, well, what can happen is it's going to lead to a lot of the things Connie dealt with, a loss of mobility, which will definitely lead to less independence. And that is something a lot of us fear as we get older. It's also going to affect your metabolism, which is the way your body processes energy. If the metabolism starts to decline, it will inadvertently promote weight gain in the body, which is something a lot of folks are dealing with. If you also are dealing with less body movement, it puts you at risk for falls and then having a fracture of your bones, breaking a hip, for example. Weak muscles and low energy are going to make it harder for you to stay stable and safe. So this is something affecting most older people. As well, we know that not moving our body enough, especially over the duration of our life, will put us at higher risk for cognitive decline and later developing things like dementia. And this is something everybody wants to avoid because it's so devastating, as we know that staying physically active will protect our brain. There's been decades of research being very clear about this. It's not something we can ignore. So this is why weight loss after 60 really isn't just about the number on the scale or calories in, calories out. You have to take this bigger picture perspective of how each of these pieces lead to the next and affect the entire process of somebody's behavior. So I'd argue it's really about maintaining the strength and the movement in your body that keeps you living fully. And in order to do that, you have to know, what should you do instead of following this conventional approach? What will help you maintain your activity level to protect your body for the long term? Well, the first thing is to nourish your body properly. Now, your goal is not to eat as little as possible. I try to explain to patients that there are some circumstances where if they want to lose weight, for example, they actually need to eat more. And that is so confusing to most people. But we know when we just dramatically cut back on our calories, it's going to dramatically impede our metabolic rate. So I would actually argue that this is a fallacy of just cut back on calories and you're going to be good to go, because it's not looking at that whole story. Now, your goal is to give your body what it really needs to create balanced energy and maintain your strength. And that means targeting certain nutrients. You have to eat the nutrients in a balanced way. So I'd argue the best way is eating a balanced meal. Meals that fuel your metabolism, that protect your muscle tissue, and that stabilize your hunger and your energy throughout the day. When you really think about it, it's just common sense. Now, the second thing that you need to do is to use your energy to actually stay active. Now, I know if you're dealing with pain, and a lot of people are dealing with knee pain, lower back pain, joint pain in other parts of their body, or weakness in their legs. This can be some of the hardest part for most folks. But the tricky thing and the reality is pain is often something that goes along with inflammation. So we need motion in our body to keep inflammation down. Now, that being said, if you're someone who's dealing with a condition that's specifically affecting joints or muscles or bones, talk to your doctor about what's safe for you. I'm not giving you advice here. I'm just talking big picture about how all this stuff plays in. Just a little bit of education. So the especially important thing here is to stay active, but just walking around or stretching usually isn't enough. I have to be honest with you. Most people think that stretching is exercise, but when it comes to really protecting your muscles and protecting your bones and your joints for the long term, you have to engage your muscles in strength or resistance training. Now, it's about strength building exercises that contract your muscles, like obviously, making a bicep muscle or a curl is a classic thing most people know. But it doesn't have to be gym exercises. It can be going up and down stairs or doing chair exercises in your house, wherever you need to start. But the goal is to contract your muscles. This is going to help you preserve and even rebuild muscle tissue. Super important, especially as we age. The strength training itself, by engaging your muscles, building the muscle mass and the strength of the muscles, will be supporting your metabolism. It will be keeping you strong enough to live independently. It will be protecting your bones and your joints for the long term. And it helps give you stability and balance to prevent falls and risk of fractures. And in addition, we obviously need to maintain cardiovascular exercise. Our heart health is of utmost importance at any age. Things like jogging, playing tennis, biking, swimming, pickleball, racquetball, anything that gets your heart pumping really is going to support your heart health and your brain health. Don't forget how important that is. So instead of just focusing on eating less and shrinking your body smaller to stay fit, let's think about building yourself up. What about more strength, more energy, more vitality, and a stronger heart and brain? I don't know anybody who wouldn't want those things. Overall, that will help you build a healthier, more independent future for yourself. It's definitely worth thinking about how you want to be later. That is the one thing most people and most doctors don't encourage their patients to do, and I really don't know why. We are always aging. We are always walking ourselves into our future every single day, and the actions we do today will directly impact the future that we have. So start thinking along those lines. It's probably going to be a mindset shift that you never really did or you never thought about. Could change your life. Now, if you want to learn how you can actually break free from that vicious cycle that I talked about in this video and start rebuilding your body the right way, well, you're not on your own to figure this out. I am here to help guide you. And that's why I created a free guide that I like to call the Perfect Meal Formula. It's a very simple starting point to show you how you can start building these balanced meals, how to nourish yourself for getting that real energy, that real strength, and real results. There's a link in the description below this video for how you can get your copy. Now, inside it, you're going to learn the really simple way that I like to teach people to fuel their body for having all of their benefits. It's not stressful. You don't have to track everything, although you can if you want to, and you're not going to feel overwhelmed about what to eat. Don't forget to grab your free copy. You can download it at the link below. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, that helps get this video out to more folks who would like to access this information. That's actually how these algorithms work. Send it to somebody you think would benefit from this information. Please bring people into this community. I'm trying to become a platform for all of you to help support each other and for me to provide you with answers to your questions so we can talk about things you care about. Your health is really worth fighting for. So it's never too late to get started, no matter where you're at. And I really want to remind you, I have this entire YouTube channel with a ton more videos up here to help make your health journey as easy as possible. I'm here to answer your questions, to be a support and a guide for all of you. Jump into that other content, and I'll see you in there.